what's up, folks? Welcome back to Texas football. All of us a little bit distracted right now. Watching Texas take on BYU right now in the first round of the tournament. I'm lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers, joined by our own lifetime Longhorn, the young prodigy himself, CJ Vogel, and our own coach, former high school football coach at Bernie, Capel, Brownwood, Belton, Rotan. Also played college football at Abilene Christian, coach there as well on the staff at the University of Texas for multiple head football coaches. I can't go through all of his accomplishments because he's got way too many. Our own coach Bob Shipley. What's going on, coach? How you doing?
Hey, it's still basketball season.
Hey, coach, Texas is up right now. They were on an 8-0 run, then that just ended. But they are up 28-22 on BYU right now. So Longhorn fans feeling pretty good about the Longhorns' chances in this matchup.
They did. Hey, honestly, they didn't look real sharp in their win over NC State. Of course, I'm just kind of kidding about the basketball. They didn't look real sharp.
No, they did not. I agree with you on that.
They won.
They won, exactly. Just surviving. This is surviving advanced time. Right. Now, we don't really care how it looks. This is actually surviving.
Just get it done.
Game. Exactly. CJ, I don't know how your bracket's looking. Obviously, everybody's bracket is busted after the High Point upset already, but we know about them 12s and 5s. Y'all know it's going to happen every year. We just don't know which one is going to be. One bracket, I'm going to start picking all the 12s over the 5s at one point, at least half of them. But CJ, first of all, is your bracket busted? And did you have Texas winning the first round of the tournament?
I did have Texas winning this game. Now, we're going to have to talk about Saturday, should they get there. But right now, hey, they're off to a solid start. We obviously knew that AJ DeBanza coming into this game was going to be a lot to defend against. He's already up to, 12 points. So
yeah.
He's getting his buckets whenever and wherever he can. But Texas right now scoring the rock, and that's, again, their identity right now, and it's working so far.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I see.
So who does the winner of this game play?
They go and play Gonzaga.
Yeah, the Zags more than likely. Coach, did you have a bracket? Did you feel like
I have a bracket? I got a bracket in my truck. I hang my rifles on. That's what you're talking about.
That's exactly.
I play the dumb football coach up. I joke about that, but no, I don't do brackets. I don't know enough about it. I don't even know where Gonzaga is.
Coach, it's the Pacific Northwest. It's like in Washington, right? Is that where Zags are?
I thought they were Northeast.
But coach, you just said that's like more than half the people filling out brackets don't watch college basketball at all. Like they literally have no idea. They may watch one team, like most Longhorn fans. They have no idea what the hell they're doing. That's the beauty of the bracket. It's just you can, if you have a little pride, you'll cram. If you have some pride, you'll cram in like the day before. You're like, all right, let me look at the stats. Let me look at this. Let me look at the ratings and the efficiency and offense. And then
I got time for all that stuff.
See, you don't even need to do that. I lose my mom who watches her first basketball game probably 4 days from now, almost every year. So
see, exactly.
There's no signs to this.
Yeah, honestly, coach, that's the beauty of it. It makes the experts look bad. The experts usually they end up having the worst brackets. It's almost paralysis by analysis kind of thing. So I always think it's fun. I thought about
the only thing I remember about this is when my alma mater, the ACU Wildcats, knocked off Texas first round.
Oh, so there you go. See, Cole, why you got to bring that up?
It was kind of happy and sad at the same time, you know.
Oh, I remember that one. I do remember that one too. That was ugly.
That was the end of Coach Smart, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Now the head coach that was at Abilene Christian is at UTEP now. Mm-hmm. And by the way, his brother-in-law is Coach Dykes at TCU.
Oh, no kidding.
What?
Yeah. Coach Golden was the head basketball coach at ACU when they upset Texas. Now he's at UTEP. His brother-in-law is Sonny Dykes.
I didn't mind. Small world. There you go. See, thank you, Coach. Dropping that nugget. See, yeah, too soon, Coach. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Throwing that out.
Sorry,
you don't know nothing about college basketball yet. He throwing out these little nuggets from back in the day. Okay, if you guys want to be a part of the show, of course, you're the most important part of it. So any questions, comments you have. Obviously, we're just making it mostly a live watch with the game, of course. So we'll be here probably about 45 minutes. So if you guys want to talk some Texas football, throw it out there. As a matter of fact, I got a couple of topics I do want to bring up. Of course, while we're watching the game, we can have one. It'd be like Bill Walton, right? It's like watching the game, talking about other random topics throughout the broadcast. I do want to get into the rule changes. There were some rule changes in college football that were confirmed. Among those, being the most high profile, being the targeting rule. Change to the targeting rule. I want to get Coach your thoughts about it, and I want to get CJ's thoughts about it as well. There's Jonah Williams news. He has had his surgery, and Coach Schloss actually got a chance to talk about some of the reasons for having the surgery and talk about him getting ready for football season. I want to get into those comments a little bit too. And Arch has got a new endorsement. Yeah, he's got another one among many. So we can get into that too. But throw it out there, questions, comments, super chats. Always jump to the front of the line, and you guys can interrupt the show at any time. Just throw out a super chat, and we'll address it and get to it. But of course, most of the conversation will be about Texas basketball at this point. CJ, do you consider this is already this season a success for Texas basketball? I talked to Jerry about this, and he said, as long as they made the tournament preseason, that was his definition of a success if they could do that. And do you consider it a successful season for Texas basketball already?
Yeah, I think with Texas basketball and with Sean Miller in particular, you have to find a way to set a bar that's reasonable. And basketball at Texas has always been something where I think expectations might be much higher than what they probably should be. Everybody in basketball, especially now with the portal, you want to see the instant gratification of the 1-year transfers come in, take over your team, and put you in a position to compete right away. But look, year one in this league, you go 500, you make the play-in game, you win that. So already a step ahead of where you were a year ago when you lost to Sean Miller in the first round. So look, I know it's not the prettiest, but look, should Texas end up winning this game as well and move on to the round of 32, how is it not a successful season, right? You could talk about how high this ceiling might be, but altogether, this team and where this program is headed under Sean Miller, I think is in a very, very bright position given, hey, he's working with a lot of guys that, had he had his choice out of the portal, I don't know if they would have been on this team. Yeah. Altogether, he's worked with what he's got, and he's made it work so far.
Yeah, and I think they've gotten better. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And they've been able to solve a lot of problems, kind of create their own identity. Obviously struggling still with defense, but I think it has been, I think everything right. Oh, that's a nice move. Feels like found money. It feels like found money right now.
Don't leave us hanging. Who made a nice move? It's kind of like watch with us in football.
Well, Jordan Pope,
yeah, he had a nice move to the basket. Yeah,
he was looking like me.
But BYU did answer though, so 32-29 right now. Texas is up. All right, I do want to get, as we obviously watch the game, I do want to get you guys' thoughts about the change. Oh, I see Sandman. Just a warning. Sandman says all hopped up on pain meds, so you've been worn out. See, Sandman, he's feeling good. He's on it already.
That's the last thing that we need is Sandman feeling good and just letting it loose from the hip.
Tequila. There you go. Oh, yeah. Tequila. Oh, what kind of tequila? I need to know, Sandman. I'm a tequila fan myself. But let's get into this. I want to talk about this. Oh, that was a nice shot by BYU. All right. I want to get your guys' thoughts about the targeting rule, though. So for those who don't know, there's going to be a 1-year trial, which also I kind of like. They're taking a rule out. They're taking a page out of the NFL's book where they're basically going to try out rules code for a year. I like that. And if it works out, great. But if it don't work out, you can always change it back. So under the old rules of targeting, a player fouled on BYU. A player called for targeting was suspended for the remainder of the game. And if it committed that penalty, of course, in the second half, that penalty would obviously, it would carry over to the first half of the next game. Some people thought this was too punitive, right? It was obviously the focus was on player safety and trying to decrease the amount of traumatic, brain injuries and traumatic head injuries in football, which I'm all for, by the way. So under the new rule, a player disqualified for targeting for the first time during the season will be allowed to participate in the next game, no matter when the foul was committed. Second-time offenders would then be required to miss the first half of the next game. And if a player is disqualified for a third targeting penalty during the season, they would be required to miss the entire next game. They did note that no player was disqualified for targeting 3 times during the 2025 season. So they're going to essentially, they're going to make it less punitive, all right, and less harsh of a punishment for targeting, the targeting penalty. Do we think it's a wise decision? Good decision? I do like that it's a 1-year trial, just to see if it works out and to see if the experimenting will work in terms of improving the overall, kind of quality of that play, of that call. But what are your thoughts, Coach? I want to hear from you first about.
I like it. I like it, and I'm with you. I like the trial, just to see how it's going to work out. But so many targeting penalties are like, the offensive guy puts his head down at the last minute, and the defensive guy can't. It's just almost impossible for him to avoid it,
Mm-hmm.
But there does need to be consequences, obviously, for targeting, even though it may be inadvertent. It wasn't on purpose, but I like it. I mean, I think it's a good plan, and let's see how it goes for this year. And that's what the NCAA is saying. Let's try this for a year and see how this works. And I think it's going to be successful. How many times have we seen a guy get called for targeting when it was unavoidable, really?
Yeah.
And that's what I thought that was unfair about it. And it's really hard to determine when it's unavoidable and when it's not. But yeah. We've all seen plays where we thought in our mind, there's no way he could avoid that, because when a player ducks his head at the last minute, the defensive player has already committed to making the tackle or, committing his body in a certain direction.
Yeah.
And when an offensive player turns his head at the last moment, so I like it. I think it's good. And, I like the fact there hasn't been anybody. Nobody last year had 3 offenses. Has anybody ever had 3 offenses, or is that just for last year?
It was just from last year, but I'm with you, Coach.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know if anybody probably would have had 3. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure they keep up with that, but I've never heard of anybody having 3 offenses. I'm sure that would have been like a story. I feel like if a guy had 3 targeting offenses in a season.
This might be a little wrinkle. I don't know if you can even enforce this at all, but remember that TCU team in 23 that made the run, or maybe it was 22, and every quarterback they played, they knocked out.
Yeah.
There were a couple of pretty gnarly targeting calls in that run of quarterbacks that got injured against TCU. I don't know if there's anything enforceable there, but I'm just trying to think of, repeated offenses in the world of targeting. You don't hear it all too much, not at the college level of guys that, are headhunters anymore, right? Because you lose too much of your season. You lose 5% of your season, basically, if you are caught targeting with the previous rules. Coach, what you said about things not being avoidable with how quick some of these bang-bang collisions are, I absolutely agree. And to have to lose upwards of 3.5 or 4 quarters worth of football in your season, I think was ridiculous at the first point. So I think it's fantastic that these guys, after their first offense, which for the most part, you don't see many guys rack up more than 1. I think it's fantastic. You're done. You made a bad hit, but you're back and you get a clean slate for the next game. And your team isn't penalized for a game that the other team did nothing to benefit or to gain that benefit from. So I like that a lot. I think that's a smart step in the right direction when it comes to the enforcement of targeting penalties.
Yeah. And I think it forces the defenders, and it's probably unfair, but life's not fair. You have to be very aware of where your eyes are and, putting your head down and almost spearing guys like you did back in the day. Like you have to see what you hit, which is actually what you're taught to do, to see what you hit. And it forces defenders to be aware of that And I think that's why you haven't had, guys be a lot of repeat offenders, because you can, as a defender, you can control that. Now, will you be able to deliver as physical a blow? Probably not. Probably not. You'll end up just making a sound tackle as opposed to intimidating a guy and knocking what out of a guy, which is what the game was built on. I agree, but that's not where the game. That's not the future of football, which I think we all agree now is built on more the athleticism and the skill, the talent overall. It's not a game that sells violence anymore. They're trying to extract as much of the violence. It's still a very violent game. You can't get that. I mean, that's just the nature of it. They're trying to extract as much of the kind of malicious, gratuitous violence out of the game as they can. And I do support it. I've always kind of supported the targeting rule. I know it was harsh, but it worked. Y'all can't say it didn't work. Just like anybody was trying to miss no football. You don't get it. You're right. It's not worth it. Me laying a guy out is not worth me missing a football game or missing.
You guys remember Jack Tatum?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what his nickname was? The Assassin.
Yeah, exactly.
He wouldn't last in today's rules very, very, very long. He was. We had a guy coached in college. We call him the Hitman because he would lay the hits on people. I mean, knock them out. No penalty.
Well,
no.
We talk about the enforcement of repeat offenders, right, Rod? In the NFL, they just go straight to your pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you're fined $50K. The next game
maybe that'll find the NIL guys.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. Is you don't have that yet in college. Obviously, you can't you don't have a uniform number of or amount of money that you can fine these guys per hit. But you take away, like I said, 5% of what was their season. That then plays into what they could have gained or in their pocket in the NFL as well. So that's one of those enforcement rules, but I'm all for it the way that it is currently with these new rules.
Yeah, it's interesting. Someone said, he says Brian Westbrook, Kaleda Wood. Yeah, there's some guys, Longhorns, that I could already see those guys would have been missing time in the modern game. But I do think that the athletes, they are skilled enough where they adapt and evolve. They need to know what the rules are, but man, I grew up watching guys. I played with guys with neck rolls. I don't think anybody has a neck roll anymore. Who has a neck roll? Anybody got a neck roll?
You got to bring them back.
I played with multiple guys with neck rolls, and they had neck rolls because they was about to go out there and lay somebody out. That's what they had to protect them. Like, I'm gonna protect my neck because I'm about to go lay somebody out here. I played with multiple guys like that.
I think Overshown was the last one for Texas to play with it.
Who was?
DeMarvion played with one really late in his career. I don't know if he needed it, but it looked good with all of his armbands.
I know that is the neck roll.
Did Jet Bush have one, if I remember right?
Oh, you got a good memory, CJ. You got a good memory at the young folks. That's a good. I thought it had been a while. That's good. You're right. So it's been
before then, Rod. I think it went way back.
Yeah, arch neck roll. Yeah. No, I'm just saying like that's. I mean, like I said, I play with guys. It was all about laying somebody out because the coach is right. But so that's the new targeting rule. Like I said, I think it's actually been it's actually been successful in accomplishing its intended task, which was to limit the amount of traumatic collisions in football. Now you can make the argument it was too harsh and too punitive. I won't disagree with you on that, but I think that's the whole intent. Like the whole purpose of it was like, no, we're going to make everybody rethink the way they approach tackling and hitting in this sport. And now I like the 1-year trial. Let's just see now if everybody as college football as a whole have adjusted and evolved their techniques in tackling and decided it's not worth it. The risk outweighs the reward of trying to intimidate your opponent by delivering a malicious blow, which like I said, I know some of y'all still like that. I get it. That's old school football. Texas now up 39-32. 2 minutes left in the first half. Got a steal too. Nice steal.
There we go. Keep on.
Mm-hmm.
Keep coming on with these.
You couldn't take away NIL money because if Sam Houston was playing Texas, Ain't nobody on Sam Houston got NIL money. I know. ACU had a great quarterback. My daughter has a Summer Moon coffee shop here in Abilene, and she gave him an NIL deal, all the free coffee he wanted.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good deal. So what are you going to do? Take his coffee away from him?
Yeah, before they want.
Hey, it was Maverick McIver. Maverick McIver signed with Texas Tech out of San Angelo Central. His father was Rick McIver that played for Texas in the early 80s. Great quarterback, had a strong arm, was a really good punter. He's my age, so I remember Rick McIver keeping up with him. He was out of Fort Stockton. And so Maverick McIver had an NIL deal at Abilene Christian with my daughter, and it was free coffee.
That's a smart move right there. Free coffee. It's like
Summer Moon.
That's that good stuff. Yeah, that's that expensive stuff, man. I don't drink coffee, but I know coffee's expensive. Well, everything's expensive these days. All right, let's thank our lead sponsor before we dive into a few more topics and obviously watching Texas basketball versus BYU. Let's thank our friends at Von Lane. We appreciate Von Lane, and you will as well. If you have any traveling you want to do coming up for spring break or to go visit family or for business reasons, conferences and meetings, you want to avoid the airport if you can at all costs. We all talked about that. TSA can be a bit of a nightmare right now. You got security lines, delayed flights. You would love to experience first-class travel on the ground, and that's what Von Lane delivers, folks. You board in minutes at a private hotel terminal, settle into one of just 22 oversized leather seats. You'll enjoy complimentary Wi-Fi, snacks, beverages, and hot towel service on every trip. On select departures, they actually have complimentary meals. They've even upgraded the entire fleet with Starlink internet, so Wi-Fi is faster and more reliable. Von Lane serves Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Plano, the Woodlands as well, Memphis, Nashville, Atlanta, and Knoxville. And if you're traveling with a team or a group, you can charter your own Von Lane coach, and you can design the trip from pickup to drop off. And right now is a great time for you to reach out to Von Lane, vonlane.com, VONLANE.com. And if it's your first time riding, you can enter the code OTF26 at checkout to receive $20 off your first ride with Von Lane. I've taken the Von Lane personally several times to Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth on business and for personal reasons to go visit family. I love the Von Lane. You will as well. My wife has taken it several times. It's a great service, and now's a perfect time to try it out. If you have any short travel to cities in not only the area or the state, but also regionally as well at vonlane.com. All right. Ooh, Texas right now looking good. Up 43-34, gentlemen, over BYU. I tell you. All right. I'm feeling good about my pick. My bracket's not totally busted. I haven't looked at it. I don't want to look at it, actually.
Did you pick High Point?
No, I did not. So, of course, that's and Duke scares me a little bit because Duke only won by 6, and I got Duke going pretty far, I believe, in it.
Yeah, so that was
that's a little scary too.
That got a little dicey for Duke.
Yeah, I don't. They didn't give me any confidence. I think I either got them in the Final Four. I got them in the Elite Eight. I believe I got them in the Final Four. So that made me feel good about that. All right.
I got to tell you guys, I've never heard of High Point in my life. Have y'all?
Where's High Point? Do we know? Where's High Point?
North Carolina.
Oh, they know how to play basketball out there.
Has you ever heard of them before, Rod?
No. And I bet coach.
What an end to the half, man. Tremont Mark.
This dude has got a clutch gene, don't he?
Wow.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
For those not watching, there you go. End of the half, Tremont Mark at the buzzer once again, a nice little three-pointer. Texas now up 9, 46-37, going into the intermission. 46 points in the first half. Look, I knew, or at least I anticipated this being a high-scoring game, but this right here is a bit of a different level. If you go back to when Texas was really at its best, Vanderbilt at home, you go on the road to Alabama, the win over Georgia, very high-scoring games, run the pace, get the three ball going, allow Matas to mop up inside. That's kind of the recipe right now. I thought that game against NC State on Thursday was not what Texas wanted to do, slow down, run the half court, because it just gets muggy. Texas got to run. They got guys that are great in slashing ability, pop open for threes, and you're seeing it right now. 46-37, Banta has, I believe, 22. So, hey, if you're able to shut down everybody else, this is the recipe to move on after tonight.
Yeah, no, it's Longhorn fans feeling good right now, as well they should. Arrowkid says High Point, North Carolina has a large commercial furniture trade show every year. Random factoid. What do you crack away, Arrowkid?
No kidding.
That is a hell of a random factoid.
So High Point is a town in North Carolina?
It is.
Apparently so.
And then High Point University. Now y'all got me looking this up online.
They can't play football. They can't play football. Because if they played football, I would have heard of them.
Yeah, I don't think they play football. They got baseball. I know they play 16. They got 16 athletic teams. I don't see football on here though.
No.
I think you're right, Coach. So you're right about that, Coach.
The largest home furnishings of our
Hey, don't tell my wife that, please. We're remodeling a house right next door.
When is it? Registration ends?
Man, like you said, I would have not known. I just learned something new. It's coming up.
As y'all can tell by the wall behind me and a broken TV on the ground right here.
What?
I don't know if I need to be at this thing. This isn't down my alley.
Wait till you get a woman, CJ, and then you're going to see. That's why Coach is like, I got to keep my wife away from this concert. She'll be like, I want to plan our next vacation to this furniture trade show. You're like, no.
Yeah, my wife likes to go down to what is it? What's that place down? Round Top. Round Top. You ever heard of that?
It sounds expensive.
Don't tell your wife about Round Top.
Sounds expensive.
You'll be thousands in debt.
They sell square tops?
That sounds very expensive. I'm like, nope. No. Round Top.
Yeah.
They give you free. It's not one of the places where they give you free champagne. You know they want you to spend some money. Anybody come to you with free champagne, they want you to spend a lot of money. That's what that free champagne is.
That's the Vegas model.
Yeah, exactly. Free.
You're not wrong.
Free alcohol. It's like, really? Yes. We would like you to get as lubricated as possible and just enjoy yourself with all these bells and whistles and lights and everything. Yep. That's exactly right, Coach. Wise man. Wise man. Okay, I want to get you guys' thoughts real quickly. We're at halftime right now for Texas. BYU Longhorns are up. I want to get you guys' thoughts about this Jonah Williams story because there's a new element to it. Because recently, Schloss, I think this was today, actually. I say recently. Coach Schloss was asked, he said he reached out, actually, because Jonah just had his surgery. And he said that he reached out to Jonah to, just to talk to him and obviously to touch base with him. And he said Jonah's surgery went great. He definitely needed it. We did get a chance to talk to him, his parents and the doctor. There's no question once they got in there, he's like, there's no chance that he was able to survive through a season and be ready for football, much less baseball. So that's good. He said, I'm glad Jonah's getting some clarity. Coach Sarkisian and I have spoken, and he can now go really all in. I encouraged him to go all in on being a great teammate in football, learning the defense, just being over there all the time. And then he's more than welcome, obviously. And I want him in our dugout during the games, but he doesn't need to be in our practices or do anything like that. So essentially, Coach Lodge is saying, hey, this was kind of a football decision in a way to make sure he's ready for football season. And we don't need him here physically a lot, basically. We need him physically out, being there with football once he's recovered, obviously, and rehabbed, and focusing on football. Sounds like did I misinterpret that, CJ? I mean, in any way? I think that's it seems like that was the message.
As far as I understood it, that's very similar to what I believe was intended, Rod.
Yeah. He said he's still a two-sport athlete, by the way. That was confirmed. 100% supportive of him being a baseball player next January. I'm obviously super supportive of him being a football player. And I know it's easy as a fan. Coach Sloss got into this. if you're just a football fan and you want this guy, he just needs to play football, or if you're a baseball fan, he just needs to play baseball. The reason he's at Texas is because we told him he could be a two-sport athlete. And when I was at A&M, we told him the same thing. So did LSU and Ohio State. So
yeah, that's good.
Still gonna be a two-sport athlete. There you go.
Hey, coaches are telling them that. I don't know if Jonah's body's telling him that. So I'm making a joke about that, but I mean, I'm kind of serious because, again, he's unfortunately been just so dinged up that we've not been able to see him on the gridiron a year ago. He's been limited to just 22 starts over about a year and a half on the diamond as well. So, look, if he's able to stay healthy and play both, that is fantastic. He's one of the rarest of rare athletes in the entire world that can do both at an elite level like Texas. If he can do that physically, do it. But if this is something that is going to continue to linger and prevent him from excelling and reaching the potential that he has in either sport, right? I don't care which one he picks. Then that's when I think the hard conversation needs to come in, and you need to sit down and choose one. But hey.
Well, yeah, it's a decision he has to make. He and his family has to make that decision. If there's going to be a decision made. What was his surgery? Was it a ligament surgery?
I don't believe the specifics were released.
Yeah, I talked about that.
But we do over at On Texas Football, I believe Jerry put up that rotator cuff was the expected surgery or injury. So, look, that alone comes with a pretty lengthy recovery process.
I know that. Was that his throwing arm?
That I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's a good question, Coach, actually. Real good question. I'm not sure about that either. I believe it was the same one he hurt last year, though, so we know that he hurt previously, but I'm not sure about that.
By the way, the shoulder's pretty important, Rod, for playing safety.
I would just say that my NFL career, unfortunately, was, it was 3 different shoulder surgeries. Collarbone, which I think he's had a collarbone issue too, and I had two rotator cuff surgeries. So it's one
Jordan has had 2 rotator cuff surgeries, and he said they're the worst surgeries. He's had like 7, 8 surgeries. Now I think he's had 8 surgeries.
Oh yeah.
He said by far the worst surgery he ever had was rotator cuff.
And that includes an ACL in there too, right, Coach?
Yeah, 2 ACLs. One in Texas and one with the Bengals.
Wow.
But the rotator cuff was the hardest one to come back from.
Yep. It sucks. I agree. I did it too, and I wouldn't disagree with that at all. It just takes so long because you can't do anything. Yeah. And you lose so much strength while you're just sitting around waiting for it to heal.
You gotta sleep on your back.
Yeah, for those terrible sleep. Oh, terrible. Some of the worst sleep you've ever had in your life. I probably went that whole entire 4 months, whatever, without sleeping, like getting into a good REM cycle. Because you just can't. So you roll over this way or roll over that way, you feel it all the time.
Unless you got some of that Sandman tequila.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on whether I use any of that to self-medicate during that time. But it is. I agree with Jordan, man. It's tough. It's a tough one. And then you got to work on getting all the strength back after that shoulder surgery. And then you can't do drills or anything either. Like you can go out there and do drills with your shoulder. You got to literally kind of keep it in place while you wait on it to heal. And then I think after like a month or so or a couple of weeks, you can kind of get into some light movement, but nothing crazy. Like you can't really get into any violent movement with your arm. So it takes a while. And then they never really, to me, I don't think they ever really heal back where you got full motion. Now maybe it is different. Technology is crazy. So maybe now you can get full motion, but I feel like I'm gonna have to get surgery again on my shoulder pretty soon. And honestly, it's still giving me issues. So it just sucks. Doug here says, Coach Shipley, have you ever coached a 2-sport athlete? What advice would you give Jonah Williams? That's a great question. Good question.
No, I haven't coached a 2-sport athlete in college. Well, yes, I did. But it was like Texas State, a track football player.
Yeah.
But Jonah just needs to do what Jonah wants to do. If he's got a passion or, for one sport or the other, You know, I'm all for whatever Jonah and his family decide to do. I just want what's best for him.
Mhm.
You know, whatever they decide. You can't blame the guy. Whatever he decides, no criticism from me.
Yeah. Look, again, I'm with you. If you want to play both, play both. Again, no
They're
one I mean, the guys in the country that can play college football at this level, play college baseball at this level and do it at the same time, probably less than the fingers I have on my right hand, right? So if you're able to go all out, do it. I just hope for his sake, right, there's time in which he gets to heal, take care of his body, and make sure that he's available for both.
Yeah.
Hey, Rod, were you surprised Kyler Murray tried to do both? Was a two-sport athlete?
Yeah. And I like the Kyler Murray comparison, not obviously because skill set wise or anything like that. Because basically Kyler Murray had that one good year. Like it wasn't a resume he put together football wise. Yeah. He had one good year football wise, and they were like, "Yep, I think I see all the potential. That's all I need to see." And he basically did. I think they did that in baseball too. He had like a 10 home run season, showed a lot of pop.
His junior year, he was really good. I think he led the area in home runs. His senior year, you could tell he kind of checked out. He wasn't a guy that was lighting it up for Allen on the dime. He said, look, I don't. I'm tired.
Yeah, exactly.
I ground out to second base. You're lucky if I'm touching first. So,
exactly. So I with Kyler Murray, he had one good year showcasing his skill at the college level, baseball and football, and then everybody at the professional level, the scouts said, "Okay, we've seen all we need to see." I think Jonah similarly, he will be drafted in the first round. In either sport, if he has a really good year in either sport. So yes, it is a roll of the dice. I agree with CJ to play both. No doubt. It's a risky move. But I do think all he needs is one good season in either one where he can remain healthy. Obviously, you got to stay healthy through that entire season. And I think if he stays healthy through the entire season of either one, I think he can be really impactful.
Yeah.
And I think the NFL or Major League Baseball will see they'll see the potential. And they'll draft him on upside and potential. And I've been around this guy. I mean, he'll test through the roof when they do testing of any sport, no matter what it is. His numbers will be crazy, and his frame is wild. He's every bit of 6'3", like no question. He's bigger than some Texas linebackers. No, I'm not joking. Like he looks huge out there. Like I'm not. You gotta go look at him. So I think ultimately, and honestly, let's just say he does end up being injury prone all throughout college, just dealing with injuries. Freaky skill set, freaky skills. You know somebody's going to take a chance on him at the professional level. Now, he ain't going to get drafted high, but you know somebody's going to be like, I'll draft him. Just based on what I've seen out of high school, I'll draft him. Or, we'll take him as an undrafted free agent, whatever. He's going to get a shot at the next level professionally in either sport. We're now just talking about how much guaranteed money and how high can you get drafted. That's the conversation now. And that's the smart money CJ's talking about. Like, hey, man, smart money. You want to get drafted high with a lot of guaranteed money? Choose one sport, and I think CJ's probably thinking baseball would be the sport.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money, man. Guaranteed money. And you can play it longer. So if you're going to choose a sport, he would choose baseball. But I'm with Coach. I always wanted to be a two-sport athlete, was never that damn good to be a two-sport athlete, never good enough. And I admire him, honestly. I'm half jealous, but half, just admiration of that skill and, the mental makeup to believe that you can do what less than 1% of the human population is able to do. Like I would keep trying too. Yeah. I just, it's a hell of a pickup line. At Texas when I'm walking around, it's like, no, I play both, baby. I play both. He's the big man on campus. That's very intoxicating to be the best athlete on the campus of the University of Texas, where they're Olympians, NFL first rounders, NBA first rounders, Major League Baseball first rounders, and nobody can walk up to me and tell me they're a better athlete than me. Like, that is an intoxicating high of confidence that most human beings will never, ever be able to enjoy. Absolutely. And I know some of y'all are like, that's stupid. That's what I get it, but that's what that's the and to believe that, you got to have a confidence that is unshaken. The swagger has got to be Deion Sanders level swagger to be able to do that. And I think that he's one of the rare human beings that believes it and can back it up physically.
Yeah, don't forget Bo Jackson.
Like I said, Bo Jackson. It was Coach. I remember him, man. The two guys. It was legendary. He brought them all up when I talked to him about it. So I support him because I know how rare it is. At one point, because he's still young. I think we forget he's also only second year. Give him one more year. Maybe if he gets to his senior year and nothing has come of this two-sport experiment, okay, then Robbie's gonna change his mind and be like, dude, you ain't supposed to be here your senior year. You're supposed to be gone. You're supposed to be drafted into one of these sports in the first round. Pick a sport now. The experiment didn't work and it's fine. It's okay. Pick a sport, focus, and get drafted and go get that money. He's already getting money actually, but go get the NFL or Major League Baseball money. So right now, I still enjoy it, man. You're only young once. I'm old now. Damn, I wish I did more of it when I was younger. And he's doing it. So I'm going to support the man. Just because I'm an old dude who's trying to live vicariously through Jonah Williams. That's it. I know. I get it. He should pick a sport, but how many of y'all could say y'all did it, man?
I did.
Yeah, exactly. Coach, did you play two sports?
Not at that level.
Oh, yeah.
Not at that level. I worked my butt off for 5 years in football, was second team all conference, and then was an All-American in track as a shot putter. So,
hey,
yeah, but that's a little bit different than baseball and football at the University of Texas. A little bit different.
University of Texas. Yeah. So, we'll see. I think it's obviously fun to follow. I just think he needs to. The durability and health is a big thing. I want to ask him, do you do yoga? Like, what's your regimen? We got to talk about it. I need to bring Jordan Whittington back and talk to him about, hey, how do you take care of your body? And that's what I need to know now. Like, what are you doing to invest back in it? What they say, LeBron James invests $1 million in his body every year. Every year, $1 million. I don't know what I don't know what he's being paid. I know he's being paid well. I need to know how much you're investing back in your body at this point, Jonah. I need to know that. What is the yoga or whether that's the stuff. I don't know what I need to know how much time, because time is money. Time and money you are putting back into your body because your body is worth a lot of money. And right now, it's not holding up the entire season. Right. So that's what I if I asked him, I'll sit down with him in private and be like, how much money are you investing back in your body, man? I need to know. What's the meal plan, all that. Talk to Jay Witt about it. He talked about it changed his life when he started looking at his lifestyle as how the things that he could control about the injuries. And then all of a sudden he's now in the league. Has he been injured yet? Dude couldn't stay healthy at Texas and figured it out his last year, a couple of years at Texas in the league. The guy figured something out. Everybody's body is different. Everybody is different. You got to do, as Jordan will tell you, everybody got, you will see some dudes, they ain't got to do a damn thing in the training room. They ain't got to do nothing. Some dudes ain't got to lift that much. They just freaks. Go look at Herschel Walker, say he never lifted a weight. They were doing push-ups and sit-ups all the damn time. Some guys, they just built differently. You can't build your game plan and your workouts and everything based on what somebody else is doing. And I want to know if he's doing that. Like, what you doing? That's my question.
Yep.
All right. I know the game's getting ready to come back on. So I'm going to let's hit our sponsors, and then we will be done with our live stream and get you guys back to the action. Let's thank you to our friends over at Hayes City Store. Big fan of Hayes City Store. I love what they do. Matter of fact, me and my wife, we went on dates to Hayes City Store way back in the day, actually. And now we take baby girl to Hayes City Store. She's 2.5. So we've been going to Hayes City Store for a really long time. I love it. It is scratch-made comfort food. They've got their famous truck stop enchiladas, the award-winning chicken fried steak, homemade desserts, all of it absolutely delicious and made from scratch. There's also live music 6 nights a week with 50 beers on tap, ice-cold long necks, and tasty margaritas. Also 11 TVs alone in their ice house, perfect for game days. They even have brunch served from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. every Sunday. Hayes City Store is also dog-friendly and kid-friendly. They have this huge tree net for the kids to run around on and play on. Lots of space, so bring out the whole family. You can check out HayesCityStoreTX.com for more information. That's HayesCityStoreTX.com for more information. Hayes City Store, it's uniquely Texas. And let's thank our lead sponsor one more time, our friends over at Von Lane. Von Lane, we appreciate them very much. They've been great partners with us. Matter of fact, we teamed up with them when we did our Texas tour with our friends over at Third and Longhorn. They were able to power that Texas tour. And that's when a lot of my friends got a chance to experience Von Lane for the first time. It wasn't my first time experiencing Von Lane. A lot of you out there, you haven't had the Von Lane experience. You're still either driving yourself to those regional stops or those stops in the state of Texas for meetings or to go visit family, or maybe you're taking short flights to those places, and that can be a bit of a hassle with TSA being a nightmare and security lines and delayed flights. Von Lane delivers a first-class travel experience on the ground. You board in minutes at a private hotel terminal, settle into one of just 22 oversized leather seats. You enjoy complimentary Wi-Fi, snacks, beverages, and hot towel service on every trip. They also have complimentary meals on select departures. You also can enjoy their free Wi-Fi, now upgraded with Starlink internet across the entire fleet. They serve Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Plano, the Woodlands, Nashville, Memphis, Atlanta, and Knoxville. And if you're traveling with a team or a group, you can charter your own Von Lane and you can design the trip from pickup to drop off. Visit vonlane.com. That's VONLANE.com. And if it's your first time riding, enter the code OTF26 at checkout to receive $20 off your first ride with Von Lane. That's Von Lane, your private jet on wheels. Thank you very much to our friends over at Von Lane. And I hate to get off. If Texas ends up losing this game, it's our fault because we ended the live stream and it was balling when the live stream was on. Right now, Texas up 48-37 on BYU. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate all of the wisdom and all of the levity. Thank you, CJ. Appreciate all your knowledge. Great stuff as always. Thank you to Matthew behind the scenes. He's the real MVP. Nobody does it better. Good luck to the Texas men's basketball team as well. And thank you guys out there for joining us for a truncated edition of the live stream. We appreciate all of your participation. For CJ and for Coach and for Matthew, I'm Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers. Until next time, hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em.